Hello, everybody that's watching out there. This is our first installment of this is the Ode to the Class of 2020. And so today we are going to just really give a shout out to all the students, all the seniors who have made and been a special part of Carroll. And Coach Father and I are going to say something about them. So Coach Father, you want to explain how we're going to do this?
Yes, I thought you never asked, Father Spez, huh? So, and if this looks like the scene from Office Space with Bill and Bill, that's because it's exactly what it looks like. So
Exactly.
Don't feel bad about laughing at us because I'm laughing at us right now. So what we're going to do is go homeroom to homeroom for all of the senior homerooms. And the first one we're going to start with is Mr. Louis Valeni's A1 homeroom.
Yeah, the steak sauce, the secret sauce, I guess you would say, 1A. So we're going to name each student in the homeroom and just have something we're going to say about each person. So first up, we got Jason Abuso. And I would say about Jason, big family. You know, there's a lot of Abusos out there. And a hard worker. And he was a great Kairos leader. So, Jason, good job.
Very good. So next on the list is Mason Abney. And I hope I'm saying your names right. If I've been saying them wrong, well, you're used to me mispronouncing your name, so I know you'll be okay with it. But I got to meet Mason on Kairos. Excellent young man. I know him before Kairos because I knew he was a great musician, especially during any of our concerts or show. Very talented individual. I know he'll be very successful in life. So to Mason, all the best. You will be missed.
I think you're.
Oh, I'm next up again.
Yeah.
Oh, how could I miss this young man? So next one on our list is our very own Tyler Austin, who came to us all the way from Downingtown West. He passed over Bishop Shanahan and came right to Archbishop Carroll. So we are very grateful that he did that. And he actually passed up my own alma mater to come to Carroll. So shows you the passion that he had.
Smart move.
And so we're very happy to have Tyler, outstanding football player, one of the best linebackers in the state of PA. And his hard work paid off as he received an offer, as he agreed to play for Bucknell University, a great school. I can't wait to go up there for a trip and watch you play. But most importantly, you're a much better person even than you are as a football player. You were a joy to have in class all year. And I think the thing I miss the most is, as everybody's seen, when you would walk through the hall and we would cross paths, you would shout out, "Hey, Father!" So I know I'll be missing, the Tyler Austin father call as you're walking through the hall. So to Tyler Austin, congratulations. All the best at Bucknell. Next up, we have Mr. Mark Amlin, a student of mine, I believe, in 5th period. One of the quiet ones, but a good type of quiet, a respectful quiet, a very hardworking student, but also a great dry sense of humor, which I always appreciate. Mark, you're a great joy to have in class, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
I second that. Nice kid. Good kid, Mark Amlin. All right, there's a kid maybe you never heard of before, Tommy Tennis Anderson. Not many people know him too much, but no, all seriousness, amazing leader, president of the student council, gave a great speech, but also just we're an example, just a kid that everybody respects, and just a nice kid and talks to everybody, knows everybody, works with the faculty, administration so well, and writes some nice that nice letter you wrote to the class of 2020. So I just continue to be a great leader on and off the tennis court. I know we're missing that out. We're missing out on that this year, but just a great person overall. So keep it up, man.
Next up, we have Mr. Michael Arena. Mr. Michael Arena. One of the all-time great base runners in baseball. Not because he was necessarily successful, but because he was always willing to stretch a single into a double. Fantastic baseball player, though, nonetheless. It's a shame that we're not going to be able to play out the season this year. I also had the pleasure of teaching Michael, phenomenal student, in my 7th period theology class. I wish you all the best in college. Keep up that great sense of humor, and I know you'll be very successful. So to Michael Arena, good luck. God bless.
Next up is Caroline Bateman. Was a very awesome, did a great job, went to Kentucky with us for the service trip. A smart, great student to have in class, funny, traveler, field hockey. Know you do that pretty well. I don't know what's going on there, and just a great personality, and just always makes you smile, and make you laugh. So Carly, just keep up being just a good soul, and again, keep it up. We're proud of you.
Okay, next up, Rachel Bates. So I first knew Rachel because she was a cheerleader, and as one of the football coaches, we're always appreciative to anybody that supports the program, whether you're, a fan, a parent, teacher, or even on the cheerleading team. Anytime we have any support for our team, it always means a lot to the players. So that's always appreciated. But most importantly, I got to know Rachel in my 5th period class, a tremendous student, very hardworking, never had one problem, nothing disrespectful at any point during the year. Always cooperative, and you will be missed, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. So good luck to wherever you go, Rachel. God bless.
Next up, we got Tara Berridge, who had the pleasure of having me last couple of years in Faith in Action. God bless you. I hope you still believe in God after dealing with me for 2 years. But Tara's definitely knows what she says, what is on her mind. Very a lot of questions, a lot of things. Very honest and speaks from the heart, and is a hard worker, and just a good person. And just I enjoy those back and forths we've had in class. Just talking about the faith and all that the time we've shared, and just know my respect and appreciation for you in class, and certainly beyond that. So keep up the good work, Tara. Simon Bestany, Tony, whatever people want to call you, musician, went on Kairos. I never had any in class, but just another a solid kid at Carroll. Kid just hello in the hallway, in the cafeteria, even though I bug you at your lunch table. Always would always talk and let me jump into the conversation. So I just think it's just a nice overall person who's going to do great things in college and beyond. So Simon, again, we're proud of you, and again, just continue to have that friendly personality that you have right now. Okay, we got Margaret, we got Meg Birch. Meg, certainly very much involved in the ACTS program and the shows, and dedicated to that. Never had you in class, but again, went on Kairos. And again, just honest and straightforward. You know who Meg is. Meg, you're just true to yourself, and I respect that. People who aren't afraid to be themselves, and no matter hey, what kind of character I am, we everyone's just really proud of the accomplishments you've done in the ACTS program and in the school. So Meg, keep it up in college and beyond.
Okay, next up is James Blaze.
Blazy.
Or as I like to call him, Blase, which I know that's not your name, but I don't know why. I just think it's always fun to pronounce it. But first got to know James in the dugout playing baseball. He really helped me as the bench coach in my first season, trying to figure out the different scoring in the notebook using game change and all that, which doesn't seem like a big deal now, but at the time, when you want to make sure everything's correct, and especially with the PCL being what it is, and every player wants to know exactly what their stats are, you really helped me out with that. So I'm always appreciative of those little things. It's, again, as I said, for Mike, it's a shame we won't be able to play out, this season. I didn't get the opportunity to have you in class, but I know you're, a strong student. I think you had Father Spez this year, so he's never said one bad word about you in your academic activities. So wherever you go, James, I know you'll be, tremendous success. I wish you all the best.
Next up is Andy Borkowski, a real quiet kid. No one really knows much about him. That's a total lie. Definitely a funny guy. Definitely enjoys the lunch period a lot. So never had you in class, Andy, but with all jokes aside, just with all we've been through in the last year, just a real strong person. And I know your friends mean a lot to you, and Carol has held you up, and I just continue to pray, and just proud of what you've done here at Carol, and continue to make people smile, make people laugh. We need people like you out there, and stay on the right path and all. But again, just just really strong with everything we've been through this last year, and know that I really admire that about you. We got Aaron Boyle. Aaron Boyle is another one that had to deal with me for the last couple of years in Faith in Action. And Aaron, softball, I know it was a big thing for you. And again, even though we haven't been able to play the spring sports, you certainly have talent and a spirit and a joy for that. So don't lose that passion. But also just a great kid in class, a person in the hallway just joke with or say hello to. And just come from a great family as well. So I'm just thankful for the time. Again, I would just say like one of those comments from the report card. Pleasure to have in class, and a pleasure just to know a person like Aaron. So just keep it going in the future to be who you are.
Okay, next up we have Peter Brockman. So Peter, what would you say you do around here? What would you say? No, in all seriousness, Peter, you were a pleasure to have in second period class. Somebody that was always very inquisitive, always asking questions when I thought you were perhaps trying to joke around or even, make fun of me when actually you were being very sincere. So I apologize if I ever failed to take any questions that you had seriously, but you were a great pleasure to have in class. I know second period theology is going to be a legendary class. Won't be one that I'll probably ever forget. But I appreciate, all your hard work in that class. And also, your respectful attitude, which you always had. So I wish you all the best in your future endeavor. Good luck, Peter. Next up, we have Sydney Brockenbrough, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. I know Sydney from my fifth period class. She actually sits right next to Rachel Bates. And Rachel and Sydney, it was funny. They were kind of annexed away from everybody else. My fifth period class was one of my smaller classes, and there was probably a good reason for that. We always had great discussions, whether it be on the Trinity or whether it be on whether Harambe deserved to be shot or anything like that. Sydney and Rachel never really, joined into all of the nonsense of the other discussions, but they always, nevertheless, paid attention, and especially Sydney. You are a great student, very hard worker, very intelligent. I know you'll be successful in, whatever you do. I know we always say that, but I really believe that, whatever you choose to do, you'll be very successful. So I wish you all the luck in your next endeavor as you move on to the next step.
Next up, we got Abby Brogan. And again, just kind of quiet, really kind of doesn't really say much. That's not true at all. Again, I guess I have to go to confession. But another leader in the senior class who really led a lot of things, especially Thon. Put a lot of hard work into that, even behind the scenes, and just always a person you see in the hallway, just always smiling, always carrying on, always just joking around, and just I know loves Carol, and again I know you're going to do great things in the future, just with your personality. Just don't ever lose that joy that you bring and that humor that you bring to people, and your leadership, which certainly I've seen grow this year. So keep it up, Abby. James Montello, obviously, he's a really smart kid, big family. I know that's a big family, my Kairos group and all, but also I think known for his musical talent that certainly Coach Father and I do not have. So I guess that's a gift from God, James, and I know you're going to do great things in college and in the future with whether it's music or with anything with you're intelligent, you're a smart kid and a hard worker. So just don't lose that. Just keep up, bringing joy to people and love through the arts, the music, and just the person that you are. So proud of you.
Next up, we have Wang Boy, who is in my seventh period class. Great young man. Even if you weren't trying to be funny, I think you have a great sense of humor. When you do talk, it's actually to bring something up that is worth talking. You're not just saying so that you can hear your own voice, which I always appreciate. So when I say somebody is quiet, that's actually always a term of endearment for me. It's never you should be talking. You're a person who talks when they should talk, which is always very commendable. You're a terrific student. I know you'll be tremendously successful in whatever you do next. You'll be missed in seventh period. And again, I just wish you all the best. The next we have is Dominic Burke. So going back to our 5th period class, I believe Dominic sits in the back corner next to Mr. Jake Pisano and Anthony Cavello.
Quiet group there.
Yeah, very quiet. I think Lindsay Fuchs is back there and Fabiana. They're kind of the group that they're quiet. They actually can be pretty quiet, but every once in a while they'll decide to, cause a little bit of a discussion or a stir. They'll drop something or they'll make fun of my, cooking techniques or something like that, or my interest in that. So just when you think they're quiet and they've kind of moved on, then they kind of jump in and get you. But Dominic Burke, I know he's a lacrosse player. I believe hockey too. I may be completely wrong with that. I know he's
maybe field hockey. I don't know.
I know I tried to get you on the wrestling team because I heard you were a good wrestler, but it wasn't to be. But it was a pleasure having you in class, and I wish you all the best as you go forward into college. And then one more from my 7th period class, Mackenzie Kane. Mackenzie actually had her sister first, Abigail. So I know for the first month, I was probably calling you Abigail, and you didn't really say anything, which was very polite of you. But eventually I knew exactly,
Oh my God.
I knew your name, and you're, very inquisitive. You would, again, ask questions in class, which I always appreciated. And you were never afraid to challenge, what I was saying or ask if I could go deeper. You were never satisfied with the status quo, so that's always actually a good trait to have. I think you were very pro Harambe, if I remember correctly, but again, I'll miss this.
And a great co-president of the Best Buddies,
Absolutely.
Really active in the Best Buddies program, and so thankful for that as well. So.
Absolutely. And you would probably want that to be what you're known for the best, and that says everything about, your character. So I wish you all the best as you go forward in life.
Cool. Next, we got Molly Cannon. Molly, know her from just the time in the pro-life movement, Mr. Kirsch, and all the great times in the marches and the meetings on Fridays, and going down to D.C. And again, you're just a good soul, a gentle person, a good all-around a senior. And again, I never had the privilege of having you in class, but I know you have a great family, and again, I know you're going to do great things, and hopefully continue to speak up for the pro-life message in college and beyond, because we need that. But I think your future is bright, and you're a good person, and nice, and keep that up. So appreciative.
Okay. Next, Julia Capone. Well, we're all going to miss you. God bless. Just kidding.
Never heard of her.
No, never heard. I don't think anybody knows who she is.
Yeah.
Nobody ever actually.
Not really.
Yeah.
Never hear much about her.
On the quiet side, like that. But the first time I got to know who Julia was actually because of her brother, who I had last year in class. And they're pretty much nothing alike. But I didn't have Julia in class. I didn't have her in homeroom, but I probably know her more than any other student, because Julia will ask you questions, even if you don't really want her to ask you questions. In fact, I timed it. She asked 17 questions in the span of 15 seconds, which I don't know if anybody will ever break
Julie.
that.
Only Capone can do that.
But, in all seriousness, I know a very outgoing person, but a very warm person, a very kind person, which is important. Probably the unofficial leader of the class, or maybe the
spokesperson.
Spokesperson.
Yeah, because you have to listen to her.
That would
Kairos
be the
leader.
Yeah, if there had to be a press briefing for the 2020 class, I think she would probably be the one who speaks. But I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I don't know what school you're going to. One minute it's Westchester, 1 minute it's Newman.
Yeah,
so
we don't know.
wherever you go, I know you'll get the most out of your college experience. I wish you all the best, and God bless.
Okay. All right, next we got Liz Carpenter. And again, just a talented, big family, a very talented person, especially in the music, and in the pro-life club as well, Mr. Kirsch, and so faithful again to that cause, and going to D.C. But again, even having you in class this year, God bless you, dealing with me at first period. It was very thoughtful and just kind person. Never, really. Never, caused any trouble. I don't think Blaine got a demerit all 4 years. I'd be shocked if he did. But and just a good, I know you're just a good person, and I just know your future's bright, whether in music, and you're smart. You're a hard worker, and just courteous, respectful. And I know that comes from a great family and from the gifts that you have. Just continue to share them and make us proud. All right, next up we got Sierra Chandler. And Sierra, again, had to deal with me in junior year of Faith in Action. So God bless you for that. But I've really, in all honesty, watched her grow in the Best Buddies program. Just so involved. Really was a leader in a lot of things with our monthly parties or just visiting the St. Catherine students. And I know how much that impacted my life, St. Catherine's and my sister. And I know how much that is part of your life as well and how much that's impacted you. So take those lessons with you from St. Catherine's and the leadership and just the work that you do behind the scenes, and know that doesn't go unnoticed, and just keep up the good work that you're doing. Really proud of what you've accomplished.
Okay, next up we have Bowen Chen, or better known as Jeremy Chen, student from my second period class, great student nonetheless, but I got to know him also on, I believe had to be the January Kairos?
I think so.
Gosh, it feels
October or January, one of those.
All right, it feels like years ago, but great gentleman. Always willing to ask questions, and never is I think the type of person who's just satisfied with just knowing a little. You always want to know more and more and more, which is going to bode very well for you in the future. I wish you all the best in your future studies. I know you'll be tremendously successful, and God bless.
And last of this homeroom is Yi Yang Chen, or can we call her Cammy? And just Cammy in the hallways, Cammy at lunch, Cammy in the library. I'm always going to try to talk to you, and you put up with me. I appreciate that. Just a sweet person, always smiling, always friendly, always will listen, even though I'm sure I just interrupt things. And I never had you in class, but I know just anybody that's one of the exchange students from China, just a great respect for you guys, because I know it's not easy, coming from there to learn another language and just jump into our school. And I think you've done a great job, all of you, but Cammy especially. Keep up the good work, and our prayers for your future. And that concludes that's our ode to 1A, I guess.
Yeah. If there is an ode to Homeroom A2, hopefully we'll get to that if this isn't canceled. But
hopefully, people are actually enjoy this and actually did mute us, but we tried.
Believe it or not, you are missed by us very much, class of 2020. You'll be, again, very successful in whatever you do. I'll miss having Homeroom 1A right next to me, but again, hopefully we'll see you all very soon.
Absolutely. God bless you. And we'll be doing this hopefully every week for each homeroom. So hopefully we will not get canceled for next week. God bless you.